There we go. Okay, now that we are going live, we are going to join the party on our phone. There we go. Turn that off. Go to the channel. Okay, that way I can monitor the chat on my phone while we're playing some games. But we're going to wait a good couple minutes before we get started, and that way I can give you guys a good deck tech, and then we can play some games. Now I'll explain to you guys exactly what we're doing tonight. Okay, so what we're going to do tonight is going to be a little bit different from our usual deck tech. So my goal with this deck is to run it through 100 games. And every 20 games, win or lose, we're going to evolve the deck a little bit and um, figure out what is working and what is not working and change it accordingly so that we can, after 100 games total of this deck is likely going to look a lot different at the end than versus right now. So here's what we're going to do first is I'm going to check out my stats currently because I only played a couple games with this deck so far. So let's take a look at the untap.gg. Let's take a look at my my profile. Let's see here. Oh, is it loading? I have a feeling it's having a hard time loading. Okay, let's see here. Well, this is something we need to get fixed right now. We need to go to our account. Let's see if it's actually tracking my games or not. Here we go. Okay. So bring the profile up. Okay, cool. It is actually still tracking my my games. It was just taking a hard time loading, is all. So far, I just played a couple practice games to get the things rolling, and we won one and we lost one. So we're at 1-1 parity at the moment. So before we get started tonight, I'm going to show you guys what is in the deck. So this is a standard Gruul list. So we're playing red and green, playing aggressively. The deck tops out at about 3 mana, and the creatures that we're playing are creatures that are a little bit above rate. So that's kind of like where like the zoo thing kind of comes in. It's like we're not really playing it into any specific creature archetypes. What we want is we want creatures that are good value and above rate mana wise. And what I mean by above rate is I mean things like Keen-Eyed Curator. You get a 3/3 for only 2 mana. Or things like Scrap Shooter is a 4/4 for 3 mana. Surak is a 4/3 with Trample with only a 3 mana cost. So we're playing a lot of creatures that get bigger over time or punish our opponent for targeting our creatures or just are just really good above rate creatures. So we just want to really like pump some damage in the early game and hopefully end the game with a little bit of reach through our burn spells. So that's kind of where we're going with for the beginning of this stream tonight. So this is what we're running right now. We're running 3 Burst Lightning, we're running 4 Hired Claw, 4 Pop Ash Recruit, 2 Snakeskin Veil, 4 Valley Might Caller, which gets bigger when you play any of the other creatures in the deck with the exception of Hired Claw, which is a little bit of a non-bow, but honestly, this guy gets benefit from all the other creatures in the deck, so he's kind of a cool include. We got 3 Lightning Strike, 2 Terran Tusk. So if you're unfamiliar with Terran Tusk, this is the Universes Beyond version of, or through the Omen Paths version of Spider Pig or Spider Ham. So he's a 2/2. When he comes in, he makes a food token for you, and he gives +1/+1 to other spiders, boars, bats, bears, birds, cats, dogs, frogs, jackals, lizards, mice, otters, rabbits, raccoons, rats, squirrels, turtles, and wolves. So if you got any creatures in the deck that falls under any of those creature types, Terran Tusk is going to give them a nice little +1/+1. So it's pretty cool for only a 2/2 mana guy. And we got 3 copies of the Keen-Eyed Curator. This guy is really good because he's a 3/3 for only 2 mana, and he also gives the added benefit of being able to exile cards from your opponent's library. So you can start digging up cards with the Keen-Eyed Curator, and he has an added benefit of if there are 4 or more card types among cards exiled with this creature, it gets +4/+4 in trample. So that's not too shabby. And of course we have the Screaming Nemesis. This is awesome for a deck like this because the bane for an aggro deck tends to be life gain. So if you can shut off life gain with the Screaming Nemesis, then you're already on your way to getting a good victory. Then we got 3 copies of Surak. Surak is pretty awesome with this deck because what this guy does, he's not really here because he can't be countered. He's not really here because he has trample. He's here because whenever a creature you control or a creature spell you control becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, you draw a card. So he's here for the punishment, or whenever our opponents try to target our creatures. So we run Surak, and we're also running Paw Patch Recruit. These are both cards that give you a benefit when your opponent tries to target your creatures, which is really good. And also, we're also running Snakeskin Veil. So we're running a few punishing cards for when our opponent tries to target our stuff. We're also running 3 copies of Scrap Shooter because white players really, really like Sheltered by Ghosts and other arrest-style enchantments. So if we can run Scrap Shooter and give them a card to bust up one of their enchantments when this comes into play, that's just honestly a really good thing to do. It's like, because not just with like arrest style things, but when you're playing against other people that are playing things like Simulacrum Synthesizer or playing Agatha's Cauldron, like really difficult to deal with artifacts, Scrap Shooter is there for you too. So he's a pretty good include. And plus he's a 4/4 with reach. Even if your opponent is not playing any artifacts or enchantments, he's just a really good, well-rounded card for only 3 mana. So he gets the include. And then we also have Boris the Spider Rider. This is a 4/3 for 3 mana with trample and has an in-web ability. So in-web is like the spider slinging or web slinging effect. It's just renamed for Arena. So if you pay a red and a green and return a tapped creature to your hand, Boris will come into play with a number of +1/+1 counters on it equal to the amount of mana that the original creature costs. So let's say, for example, you have a Scrap Shooter on the table and you attack with it, it's tapped now. Okay, so main phase 2, you in-web Boris into play, return the Scrap Shooter to your hand, Boris comes in with 3 +1/+1 counters on it, and then suddenly you have a Scrap Shooter in your hand again that you can use to destroy another artifact or enchantment. So it's a pretty good synergy there. And honestly, even if you play this on turn 2 after you attacked with like a Hired Claw or a Paw Patch Recruit, that's still a 5/4 with trample on turn 2. That's nothing to scoff at. Mana-wise, we're looking pretty decent. We have 4 mountains, 6 forests. We have 2 Restless Ridgeline, 4 Stomping Grounds. That's the new Shockland for red and green. We're also running 4 Thornspire Verge and 4 Soulstone Sanctuary. So the only lands in this deck that are coming to play tapped no matter what is going to be the Restless Ridgeline. Now, we're running few tap lands in this deck, mostly because you don't want to trip up when you are trying to play your cards. So you don't want any tapped lands with this deck. Because this deck caps out at only 3 mana, you really need to be able to come out swinging really hard and really fast. So that's the deck. We're going to run out, we're going to play some games, and we're going to see how well this deck does after 20 games. So, let's get to it. Standard ranked, Zoo Gruul. Let's play. Okay, our first opponent of the night. And our opponent goes first. Not good for us, but we have a pretty decent hand. So we unfortunately don't have a green mana source available turn 1. Hopefully we can draw a forest. If we can draw a forest, then we can get the Valley Night Caller. Unfortunate. So what that means is we have to play the mountain. At turn 2, we'll be able to play either Terran Tusk or the Valley Might Caller. So let's play the Thornspire Verge. We're going to play the Valley Might Caller. Alright, let's see if they try to remove our guy first. Okay, he's going to discard the Trumpeting Carnosaur to get rid of my guy. Smart move, honestly. So let's go and play the Thornspire Verge, and I'm going to play Valley Might Caller into a Terran Tusk. Gets that +2. Or +1, actually. Unfortunately, Valley Might Caller does not get the +1 counter from Terran Tusk because it's not one of the few creatures that it wants. Are they playing some kind of Reanimator? Yeah, I think they're playing a Reanimator strategy. Yeah, because they got black there. So that means we need to play the Keen-Eyed Curator, and now we need to start removing cards from their graveyard. Because otherwise they're going to play a Reanimator spell next turn and really mess us up. Alright, Valley Might Caller is getting a +1 counter. I think our opponent has something they might want to try to react with. Okay, so they're going to try to Bitter Triumph. So that's 2 Gishaths in the graveyard, so we need to activate once to remove Gishath. And then we're going to do it again to remove the other Gishath. So those are both exiled now. Creature dies, but those creatures are now exiled, so now they can't reanimate those next turn. They can reanimate the Carnosaur, which is also bad, but at least they're not getting any Gishaths. Okay, comes in. It's a 9/8. Very big. And a Zombify to get nothing else. Awesome. That Zombify would have been really, really good for them. Okay. Let's go ahead and play another Keen-Eyed Curator. So, and that's now 4/4. Yeah, we only have one more red available, so we kind of have to just chill for a moment. We really can't attack into a 9/8. At least not yet. So, no attacks. End turn. Okay, play Forest. I'm going to try to zombify something now. Do they even have anything to zombify? No, they don't. They needed to discard something. Okay, pass. Alright, he's not coming at me. That's fine. So, go to our next turn. Play this Forest. And again, we kind of have to pass the turn. We're kind of staring at each other at this point. But I can at least play a Hired Claw. No attacks, end turn. So let's see what they do with their turn. Okay, they played a Cavern of Souls naming Dinosaur. And so now they're playing the Vaultborn Tyrant. Not good for us. That's very big boys. Yeah, they can gain 3 life and draw a card. Are they going to come at me now? They are. Okay, so let's see. How many cards do you have in your graveyard? Just 2, so I can't really make that huge. But what I can do is I can go to blocks. We can go 4, 5, 6 to block that. And then we can lightning strike it. There we go. Okay. So that was a very bad from me, unfortunately. But I do get to remove this now. And we're also going to remove your other cards as well. There we go. Get rid of all of those. Now, here's the thing is I can also remove things from my graveyard as well. So I'm going to remove the Hired Claw from my graveyard to make the Keen-Eyed Curator bigger. Oh wait, no. Did I not do that right? Hang on a second. View Battlefield. What do we have? We have an instant, a sorcery, a creature. Okay, so we need to do one more. So let's view the browser. So instant, shoot. Okay, we can't really do that. So we're going to cancel that. What we will do is we're going to play Screaming Nemesis. And then we'll also no attacks past the turn. This silly little raccoon is actually doing work against this deck. Okay, play a land. Is that a... Yep, Restless Ridgeline, that's what I thought. Oh, end of turn. Okay, so nothing else to go on. Let's just sacrifice that food and gain some life then. Alright, go to 21. Alright, we got a Lightning Strike, that's good. So let's go next. Next. We're going to attack with the Screaming Nemesis. See if they choose to block. Okay, he did choose to block. Okay. That's going to come through, and we're going to do 3 to your face so that you can't gain any life for the rest of the game. Then we're also going to Lightning Strike this. Get that out of here. Alright, awesome. That puts us in a much better situation. Oh, shoot. I always forget that the Vaultborn Tyrant makes a copy. That's fine. He's not getting any life, though. Okay, we'll end the turn. These creatures are just too damn big. What you gonna do, friend? Bit of triumph? Alright, well. Let's go ahead and make it worth your while. Rid of that. Okay. It resolves. Thankfully, all those cards stay exiled. Either way, I don't really think we're winning this. These creatures are just too big, and we have lost way too much steam. We're pretty much in top deck mode. Yeah, no blocks. Pop Ash Recruit, huh? Alright, well, let's play it. Activate with Offspring. It's going to give us 2 dudes. And we are not going to attack because they have enough mana to animate the Restless Ridgeline. So we're just going to chill. No attacks. Alright, it's coming at me. No blocks this time either. So it's going to hit me and going to put me down to 9. Okay, Scrap Shooter. That actually kind of helps a little bit. So, let's see here. We can either animate this and let it come into attack, or play the Scrap Shooter. I think we're just going to animate the Soulstone Sanctuary. Okay. Alright, it comes in, and because it has all creature types, it gets the +1 from the Terran Tusk. How big is this? It becomes a 3/4. Alright, so we can only attack with the 4/4 then. Alright, comes in, punk him. They go to 8. Hitali Primal Storm. Oh man. Thankfully they don't get any life, which is great. Whenever it attacks, exile the top card of each player's library. Then you may cast any number of spells. Okay. Strategic Betrayal. Ooh, that's a good way to get around the targeting. That's very good. Oh, no attacks, huh? Alright, well, let's see here. Well, the dinosaur is an artifact, so I'm going to gift them a card. And destroy their creature. Okay. And then we have, if they block this, they're still going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage. So let's go and play that. And then we will attack like so. Okay. Animate this one. Alright, put him to 3. Alright, let's see what happens. This is their final hoorah. Galta! That's a great hoorah! Oh my god! Okay, so now the only thing I can do is hit them with a lightning strike. That's my only out right now. I have to sacrifice a creature. Alright, sacrifice the Paw Patch. Take 6. No blocks. Is that game? I think it is. Yep. Good game, friend. Ooh! Barely eked that out. Ooh. That was dirty. That was a dirty game. Thankfully, those little raccoons really came in handy, so I'm really happy for those. Alright, let's play another game. That was fun. I like that. That really came down to the wire. Pressing QQ will tap all your non-creatures that add mana and float it until you use it. Good to know. I never use QQ. Honestly, I never really use any of the hotkeys. I just use my mouse. Okay, opponent goes first. We have 3 lands, both of our colors. We have Boris, Keen-Eyed Curator, Terran Tusk, and Surrak. We unfortunately don't have any turn 1 plays, but maybe we can draw one if our opponent goes first. Oh, this is a cool board. I like this. This might be the new Spider-Man board. Ew, Marauding Mako. That's gross. Get out of here. Okay, so we don't have anything to do turn 1, so we're going to play the Stomping Ground and let it come into play tapped. Alright, I go Mountain into Fear of Missing Out. Draw, discard, Marauding Mako gets bigger. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and go with... no, we're going to go with Forest, and we're going to play the Keen-Eyed Curator. Now, they can bolt it this turn if they want to. There it is. There's the Abrade. Yeah. I had a feeling. Alright, take some damage. Alright, let's go here, and we're going to play Surrak. See if they have more removal for me. Well, they got another Fear of Missing Out. Maybe they have a bounce spell? If they have a bounce spell, then they're just going to be able to ride right on in. I'll draw a card, but it's not really going to matter. Yeah, there's the bounce spell. Called it. Yeah, going in. Alright, well, let's go ahead and play this other forest. Now, let's see here. We got 2 things we can do. So we're going to play the Keen-Eyed Curator. And then we're going to wait for them to attack. So we're going to go ahead and block and have that as a blocker, and also have mana available for a lightning strike. Steamcore Scholar, huh? Alright. Yeah, this game might just be over. They got a pretty nuts hand over there. Even without a Vivi. Hit kitty. Oh, there you go. Boop. Good kitty. Yeah. Alright, well, let's go ahead and blast that right now. There you go. Before it gets any bigger. So now you can attack me with the Fear of Missing Out if you want to, but you're going to lose your creature. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so let's go and play this Forest. And then I'm going to play this Surok. So now, if you decide you want to do anything, you're going to have to deal with me drawing cards. So in the meantime, let's see, you got a creature, enchantment, enchantment creature, legendary artifact. Okay, so the artifact is the only thing that I can remove to get rid of your delirium. So there we go. Next, no attacks, enter. So now we just need to try and hold you off. That was Soul Cauldron, huh? Alright. Works for me. What are you gonna try to remove? I'll remove it myself. Beat you to it. Yeah, I'll take 2. Alright, cool. There's a Lightning Strike. Play the Stomping Ground. It's going to come into play tapped because I have too few health right now. Play the Screaming Nemesis. Attack for 3. Yeah, you're going to take it. Yeah, I know you. Do I have any other creatures in my yard? No, I don't. Oh, there's Vivi. Okay, Vivi's here. What you gonna do? Pass? Attempt to blast it. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. But your flyer is gone. I'm not too worried about that other creature. Let's play the Thornspire Verge. Let's see here. And then let's go ahead and go next. And we're going to attack with Surok and the Screaming Nemesis. Alright, you go to 10. And I will... You want to play Boris or Terran Tusk? I want to play Boris. Yeah, we're going to in-web Boris on the Screaming Nemesis. Comes in at 7/6. And then we'll play Terran Tusk. Comes in, gives me a food token. Why Necronomicon with Spidey legs? Because he's a cool little guy. I mean, look at him. He spits notes at you. It's pretty cool. Alright, we're going to enter now. Just a cool little fella. Ooh, Tersa Light Shatter's here. Alright. Come on in, champ. Right, draw 2, discard 2. Yep. He discarded Wild Ride. Yeah, that's what I thought. I didn't think you could battle my guys. My guys are just too big for your guys. Rank up. Oh, we're in gold now. Check that out. Yeah, that was almost card for card the deck that I played against last night at F&M. So we do know how to play against Vivi decks because there's just so many of them. Okay, so we get to go first. We have a Stomping Ground and a Thornspire Verge. That's both of our colors. We have a Burst Lightning, Screaming Nemesis, Hot Patch, Valley Might Caller, and Terran Tusk. So I think we're going to play the Stomping Ground first, get the Valley Might Caller on the table, and then pass. As we get the Valley Might Caller on the table first, we can play the Paw Patch on turn 2, make them bigger. So let's go and play that. We're going to pay the 2 life to make sure it comes to play untapped, and play the Valley Might Caller. Alright, Spyglass Siren. Alright, let's go and play this Thornspire Verge. And then I'm going to play Paw Patch Recruit. Comes into play. Might Caller gets bigger. Attack for 2. No blocks? Alright. Get it. Okay, they play a swamp, so they're playing Demir something or others. They're going to explore. Maybe just attack for 1. No, they're not doing anything. So, my turn. Let's go and play Thornspire Verge. I'm going to play Terran Tusk. Or at least attempt to. Phantom Interference. Okay. Well, now that you're tapped out, I'm going to blast your dude. Alright, Terran Tusk is countered. And you take 4 damage. Pop, pop. They're not doing anything this turn. Okay, well, let's go ahead and swing on in. We're going to see if they're going to try to remove one of my guys. So they likely will. Otherwise, why would they keep their mana open with 5 cards in hand? There you go. Bitter Triumph. Alright. Did they discard? Yeah, they discarded a starting town. So we're going to do this. We're going to pay the extra to make sure we get 2 of them. Now we have 3 Paw Patcher Crews on the table. Let's see how far your spot removal goes now. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and attack. See what you do. I like to attack before putting things on the table, especially against control decks like this. What? Why didn't you block? That was really silly of you. Alright, let's play Suruk. That was very silly. Preacher of the Schism. Okay. Do you want to attack? Promise you, if you attack, I won't block, because I don't care if you draw a card at this point. He's thinking about it. I think he might want to attack. Nope, he's going to map up. Okay, that's cool. Oh, there's a Flood Pit's Drowner on the top of the library. Too bad I can't get access to it. Oh, yeah, I won't block that. I ain't blocking that. I want to attack you. Like a toddler fumbling full dome into the sandbox. You know what? That is a fantastic analogy. Yeah, that didn't go too well for them. They needed more removal. But that's part of what I'm liking about this deck, is I'm playing a lot of cards that punish my opponent for targeting my stuff. It's a lot of fun. Like those little rabbits, they'll get bigger whenever my opponent tries to remove my stuff. Please fight back, you're giving me depression. Oh my god. Well, let's see if this person wants to fight back. So, we have Thornspire Verge and Forest. So that's both of our colors. We have Lightning, or Burst Lightning, Boris. We have Screaming Nemesis, Valley Might Caller, and Scrap Shooter. It looks like a decent hand. I'll keep it. Alright, they open with a Restless Vents. So I'm going to open with a Forest and play a Valley Might Caller. He's a good little frog boy. Look at him, he's got a little axe. He's just hanging out. Okay, I play a Mountain into the Terminus of Return. So that is the in-universe version of the Soul Stone. Really cool card. Let's play Thornspire Verge. We're going to attack for 1. And then we're going to Boris in web. Bringing the Valley Might Caller back. So we now have a 5/4. Now hopefully they don't have something to kill my creature with, because that would really suck for me. Well, let's see what they want to do. They do have access to 4 mana now, versus my 2. But if they don't have any removal in their hand... Survey says... Okay, they're going to Bitter Triumph. So they discarded a land to get rid of our dude. That's fine. No big deal. Alright, well, let's go ahead and play this mountain. We're going to get the Screaming Nemesis into play. Start screaming on down the hallway. Let's see if they have another removal spell. They might. They do have 2 mana available. Yeah, you're going to braid it. Oh, that's fine. It's going to deal 3. I'm just going to pop you in the face for 3. Make it so you gain life for the rest of the game. A braid is seeing a lot more play lately. I'm kind of liking it. Oh, you got a Screaming Nemesis too. Okay. I'm into it. Cool. Alright, well, let's go ahead and play this forest and play this Screaming Nemesis. And hit you for 3. Alright, and... oh, let's just play this Valley Mycaller. I don't really need to play the Burst Lightning. So we'll just chill. Okay, they play Mountain. They only have 1 card left in their hand. They could animate the Restless Vents to attack with if they wanted to. Wait a minute, what is that? 5/4 Lava-Born Goblins is a 5/4 with haste. That's insane. Yeah, no blocks. Yeah, that can come in. Alright, cool. So let's go and play this mountain. And I'm going to just start swinging on in. Let's go. Alright, block there. Perfect. Yeah, I'm going to do the 3 to that. And we're also going to follow up with a Burst Lightning to get rid of that creature. Yeah, take that 9. You lose some life, and I'm just going to play this Scrap Shooter. We will not gift, because I cannot destroy that Soul Stone. So now we just chill. yeah, that is a good card. That's a real good card. Desecrex. The hell does that do? Trample. When enters, return target creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. It gains this creature attacks each combat if able, and when this creature deals combat damage to a player, sacrifice it. Oh, okay. Yeah. Let it come on in. So now it goes bye-bye. I don't have to worry about it now. Alright, let's play the Stomping Ground. Stomping Ground comes into play tapped. And then we're going to attack for 4. See if they block. They do not. Okay, they go to 8. Alright, let's see what happens. How much of playing other people is just window shopping? A decent amount, actually. Yeah, if you okay. We're gonna have to block the Desecrex with a Valley Mycaller if they swing with both. Okay, they are swinging with both. Yeah, because I do need to block one of them. Otherwise, I'm just dead this turn. So let's see what happens. If I draw Burst Lightning, I can potentially win next turn. But that's pretty much my only out at this point. But yeah, you do get a lot of like market value testing just by playing other players. So you can kind of like, if you like see something really cool from your opponent and go like, hey, I might want to play that. Okay, we're gonna play another Scrap Shooter. But now, unfortunately, we're priced into a situation where we can't attack. So we just have to chill. Actually, it doesn't matter what happens, because even if I keep these 2 creatures back and he animates and attacks with both, I can't block both because one of them has Menace. So they win this game. Good game. Good game, friend. Yeah, the only out we had for that situation was drawing a burst lightning so we could blast them in the face for 4. That's the only thing we could have done. No other card that we could have drawn that turn would have let us win. You automatically earn rewards from the top row of the Master Pass as you play matches. Ooh, that's good to know. If you don't want to cast a spell or activate an ability, you can pass priority with the spacebar. Again, I never use the hotkeys. I just use my mouse. Okay, we get to go first. That's awesome. So we've got a mountain and a forest. That's both of our colors. We have Burst Lightning, Forest, Screaming Nemesis, Snakeskin Veil, and Suruk. So it's not the fastest gameplay. We don't have any turn 1 plays. Honestly, we don't even have any turn 2 plays. So I think we have to mulligan this. Okay, that is much better. We will definitely keep this. So we're going to keep all of this, except for the Keen-Eyed Curator, because I can't play him. So we're gonna keep that. And send the Keen-Eyed Curator back. And one really unfortunate thing about Thornspire Verge is it doesn't tap for green until I have another land in play. Which really sucks, because I would have loved to get that Paw Patch Recruit out on turn 1. Okay, but, oh, well, now, turn late, we get the Forest. Alright, we're going to play Terran Tusk. Little too late, unfortunately. If we had that Forest turn 1, this would be a much different game. But now we do have Terran Tusk in play, so next turn when we play the Paw Patch Recruit with Offspring, both of those will come in as a +1, which is good. But now I'm curious what our opponent's playing. They're playing a Paw Patch Recruit. Awesome. Alright, let's go and play this other Thornspire Verge. And play Paw Patch with Offspring. Pay it. Alright, the boys are here. No attacks. I'm not attacking that into a Paw Patch. Alright, they get a 3rd land. See what they decide to do. They are playing white, so they might have access to Sheltered by Ghosts, which would really suck. Bat Buddy. Yeah, we got a little bat. Check him out. He's got his wings and everything. He's fluttering around. He's a good boy. I like my kitty, though. Alright, friend. What are you going to do? Oh, he's going to hop to it. Alright. You got a bunch of little bunnies. Scrap shooter. Nice. Okay, so we're going to go here. And we're going to play another Paw Patch Recruit with Offspring. So now we have a ton of rabbits. Okay. And I'm just going to attack with everything except for Terran Tusk. Because our boys trample. And we need to start swinging before they get to like a critical mass of rabbits. Alright, let's play the Hard Claw. Favorite thing about the game is your inability to name subject. If I could, I would. Vigilance Reach. Whenever Phineas attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on each other creature you control that's a token or a rabbit. Then, if creatures you control have total power 10 or greater, draw a card. I don't like that. That needs to go bye-bye. Oh, he's coming in. Alright, sweet. So we'll go block here. Then we're going to block... Oh. Okay. We see what's going on here. You didn't have an out, so you just did a Hail Mary. Okay. A win's a win, though. I'll take it. Ooh, we get a card. What is it? It's a mischievous pup. Look at him. He's a good boy. Alright, let's go play another game. I only argue because it's fun. It actually makes me feel... Well, you should feel treasured, because I am out there doing my most bestest under your name. In other games, of course. Reverence. What a hoity-toity name. Okay. Opponent goes first. We have Thornspire Verge and Forest, which means we do have access to double green. So that's great for the Keen-Eyed Curators. We also have Hired Claw and Boris and Valley Might Collar. I think this is a keepable hand. Let's go for it. Let's see what they want to do. Okay, they play Plains and pass the turn. I am going to play the Forest and play the Valley Might Collar, because this is going to get bigger when I play the Keen-Eyed Curator next turn. Ooh, Giada, we're playing against Angels. I like it. All right, let's play that. Let's go ahead and play the Keen-Eyed Curator, and we will tempt our opponent to block our creature. They do not block. They did not take the bait. Youthful Valkyrie. Okay. Comes in with a +1 counter. It's a 2/4. Ooh, ethereal armor too. That is really nasty. I don't know if I can beat that. I do have Burst Lightning though, but that has First Strike, which makes it even more difficult to deal with. So I kind of have to play another Keen-Eyed Curator and just kind of develop more +1 counters on the Valley Might Collar. Yeah, we can't attack yet. That ethereal armor really messes me up, just because of the First Strike on that. Alright, Dazzling Angel. Comes in. It's bigger. Do you want to attack with that Valkyrie? Oh, and another ethereal armor. Wow, that's really bad. I think this game's just over. Let's see. Let's play the Forest. Well, we can do this at the very least. Let's go ahead and Scrap Shooter. Destroy that enchantment. We got this back down to a 2/2. And then we're going to... Oh gosh. You know what? It doesn't even matter. Even if I attack all out, they're just going to fly over next turn and just win the game. So, GG, friend. Go on to the next game. That's pretty wild. Ethereal Armor, without any other enchantments, still makes it really good because of that First Strike. It's like, that wasn't even an enchantment stack. Alright, let's move on to the next game. First swing and you're relentless and you're quietly placing your stuff. Yeah, I'm just trying to play some Magic, man. I mean, it's not up to me who wins these games. Maturity is realizing you can't win every game. Opponent goes first. Okay, so we have a Soulstone Sanctuary, a Mountain, and a Thornspire Verge. Lightning Strike, Boris, Valley Might Collar, and Surog. It looks okay. I'm going to keep it. It's not the best hand, but it does have a pretty decent curve. Okay, looks like they're mulliganing. That's good for me. Play an island into Giant Craft Helm. What does that do? Whenever a creature you control mana of 5 or greater enters, you may attach this equipment to it. It gets +4/+... Ooh, that's nasty. Alright, well, let's hope they never get to that point. Again, we're in this situation where we have a Thornspire version of Mountain, but we don't have a Forest. It's a real pain in the butt. So, let's play that Mountain. We may need to make some changes to our mana base. Get more forests and fewer mountains. Thundertrap Trainer. When this enters, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal a non-creature, non-land card from among them, put it into your hand, with the rest on the bottom of your library. Okay. And they put into the Flood Maw. Cool. Alright, let's put that there. And I'm going to play... Do we want Valley Might Collar or Paw Patch? I think we'll do Valley Might Collar, so we can do Paw Patch next turn. I don't think they're going to waste their Into the Flood Maw on my frog. Yeah, no blocks. I'm not blocking that. Come on now. I'm offended you would even consider that. Wow, that's a lot of hats. A lot of hats. Alright, let's go ahead and play the Soulstone Sanctuary, and then we're going to Paw Patch Recruit with Offspring so that our little friend here can get 2+1 counters. Alright, swing in. Now, if our opponent decides to bounce our Valley Might Caller, our Paw Patch Recruits will both get bigger. So let's see what they do. Yes, I can flip the table. Ooh, what are you going to target? If you target one of them, they're going to get bigger. You can't kill it. Go ahead. Choose one. Let's see what you do. Okay. +1 there. +1 there. Oh, can't target that one. Okay, that's fine. Oh my god. Okay, I see what you're doing there. You warp in the Hellkite, and it gets all the hats. That's so good. I would have never thought of that. That is so funny. Excellent. Good job. Okay, let's go ahead. Well, they're not going to be able to do that again next turn, so let's go ahead and Lightning Strike their creature, so they don't have anything to equip now. And we're going to play another Valley Might Caller. So the other Valley Might Caller gets bigger, and they're going to attack for 8. And we're just going to try to blow you down as quickly as possible before you can do that nonsense again. Oh, we did the nonsense again. No. Oh, that's messed up. That is so messed up. Yeah, that's game. Good game. I'm actually not even going to concede before he gets to do it, because that's just funny. That's just really good. 3 Helms. Wow. Good game. Yes, yeah. I'm playing a lot of cards that give me benefits when my opponent tries to target my stuff. Okay. Luna goes first. We have 3 lands, both of our colors, very nice. We have Screaming Nemesis, 2 Valley Might Callers, and a Scrap Shooter. Okay. We are going to have to play the Restless Ridge turn 1, unless we draw into a forest. If we draw into a forest, we'll be fine with those Valley Might Callers. Okay, we have a Leyline of Hope. Our opponent is playing Life Gain. Let's just play the Valley Might Caller. So that Screaming Nemesis is going to come in really handy. But we need to hang on to the Nemesis until we draw into some burn, because they will likely try to exile our Nemesis before it gets a chance to deal some damage. And there it is right there. So we just need to chill. So let's play the Restless Ridgeline. I'm going to play another Valley Might Caller. Might Caller gets +1. We attack for 2. Do you block with both? They do not. If they would have blocked with both, they could have killed my creature. But that would have knocked out both of their creatures. Ooh, Healer's Hawk. Okay, that's cool. Alright, they're going to come on in. I will not block. That's just silly. Alright, so we're going to go Thornspire Verge. And I'm going to Scrap Shooter with Gift a card. So they'll get to draw a card, but I get to destroy their enchantment. And my boys get bigger too. So it's a win-win. Scrap Shooter is such a good card. I love that card so much. A 4/4 with reach that you get to blow up someone's toys when it comes in. It's so good. Okay, sure. You get to Shelter by Ghost it. Yeah, coming in. Alright, my turn. Let's go and play the Restless Ridgeline. And then we are going to play Paw Patch Recruit. auto pay for the extras. Comes on in. Alright, boys get bigger. Swing in for big damage. Put you to 12. Okay, so this next turn, I'm going to play the Screaming Nemesis, and I'm going to hold up an extra red so that I can burst lightning the Screaming Nemesis, because they will very likely try to blow my boy up, and we can't have that. Though we are in a good situation at the moment where they can't really blow them up immediately because they don't have any cards in hand. But we are going to do this. So Screaming Nemesis comes in. We attack with the team. Do they block anything? All my other creatures have trample, so blocking any of them really is not in their best interest. Alright, they go to 3. So we are going to just chill right now. We're going to wait for them to attack us, and then we're going to bolt the Screaming Nemesis. Sure. Pass. You're going to come on in. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not enough to win. Alright, just going to keep the lane in back. Alright, so I'm going to do this right now before they deal combat damage so that they don't gain life this turn. Do 2 to the Screaming Nemesis. Nemesis then triggers, hits the opponent's face for 2. No more life gain for you. Oh, look, another Screaming Nemesis. GG. Yeah. Yeah, you're going to concede before combat damage is done. That's what I love about the life gain decks is any deck that's playing red should be playing Screaming Nemesis just to counter that deck. Alright, let's play again. Need to get my hands on a couple of those for actual paper magic. Okay, we get to go first. Honestly, despite the fact that we only have 2 forests, it's actually kind of keepable because we have the Valley Nightcaller and the Paw Patch. I think I'm going to keep it and hope for the best. Alright, turn 1, forest into Valley Nightcaller. Okay, opponent plays a mountain to bolt the Valley Nightcaller, probably. At least I assume. Yep, burst lightning. That's what I thought. Alright. Ooh, we got ourselves a Keen-Eyed Curator. I'm going to play that first. A 3/3 for 2 is good rate. Do you have a burst lightning or a braid for it? And you know, honestly, any amount of burn that they point towards my creatures is burn that they can't point at my face. So I'm okay with it. Oh, there we go. There's some red mana. Okay, let's attack for 3. Alright, we're going to take the damage. Alright, there you go. Let's play Pot Patch. There we go. End turn. So they got an instant in the yard, and I have a creature in the yard. So I think we'll nab that card out of their graveyard before the end of their turn. Sure. Yeah, get that double strike, right? Yeah, that's what I thought. Attack for 2. Yep, 2 you get. I ain't blocking that. That's just silly. Oh, does he have a pump spell? Oh, he's got a burst lightning. Alright, yeah. That's fine. My boy gets bigger because he targeted my blocker. That's totally fine. Pass. Yeah, take the damage. Alright, end of your turn. We're going to get that burst lightning out of your library. Or out of your graveyard, I mean. Oh, here we go. Okay, let's go... Should we do Screaming Nemesis? Yeah. Yeah, I think we do Screaming Nemesis. Attack. My boys are bigger than your boys. Ooh, 5 damage. Okay, that's fine. Alright, we're going to take some damage. Thankfully, our opponent is stuck on 2 lands. That's good news for me. Alright, play the Thornspire Verge. Now let's go ahead and attack for 3. And then we're going to in-web Boris into play. Bouncing that back. So Boris comes in with 3 +1 counters on it as a 7/6. Now we're going to play a Hired Claw and pass the turn. What are we playing? I am playing Gruul Zoo. It's a very old archetype that basically just wants to play a bunch of above rate creatures. So we're playing red and green, and we're playing just a bunch of just dumb shit. It's fun. Okay, so let's go ahead and attack with everything. And let's see what you can do about it. Okay, block the Screaming Nemesis. It will be able to redirect 7 damage, but you're still going to be taking trample. So let's go over the top. Okay, and I will choose you as the target. They will choose me as the target, obviously, because that's 7 damage. Yep, you're going to do that 7 to me. Alright, you go to 1 health. You've got to win this game at this turn. I guess they're not going to win it. Yeah. GG. Yeah, we are playing a Gruul Zoo, which is basically a bunch of above-rate creatures, meaning creatures with power and toughness higher than the amount of mana that you're paying for them. And we're just trying to beat some face. That's it. It's an easy game. Actually, let me double-check our profile real quick, because I want to see how many games we played so far. Because after 20 games, we are going to move into making some additions to the deck. So let me just make sure that we are not quite there yet. Okay. Unfortunately, you can't see this because it's on a website. It's not in the client. So let's see what we're doing. Okay, so far we are 7 wins and 4 losses with Zoo, which gives us a 64% win rate. Not too shabby. So, but that's only 11 games, so we need to play 9 more games before we start making some changes. So let's keep going. All right, let's play again. Yeah, so far this is pretty fun. No, it's Scuba Steve. All right, Scuba. Opponent goes first. We have a Soulstone Sanctuary and a Forest. Hired Claw, Lightning Strike, Paw Patch, Keen-Eyed, and Scrap Shooter. I don't think it's a good enough hand to keep this on a Hope and a Prayer, because the only thing we're playing is Paw Patch Recruit. So we're going to mulligan that. Okay, 2 Stomping Grounds. That's a little bit better. I'll keep this. We'll send one of the Nemesis back. Okay, they play a Swamp. I will play the Stomping Ground, pay 2 life, play the Paw Patch Recruit. No Offspring. However, we are playing against black, so they might be playing Removal Tribal, which would suck for us. Yep, there's the removal. Alright, they're going to take 3 to do it, though. Alright, well, pay 2 life again. Ow. Keen-Eyed Curator. Go. The Terminus. Okay, they played the Soul Stone, and they're going to tap that to deal with my creature. Right? Oh, no, they play Cruel Claw's Heist. They did not gift a card, though, which is very odd. Every time I play Cruel Claw's Heist, I always give the card, because I love stealing stuff from my opponents. Alright, well, let's go here. Let's play Scrap Shooter. We will not gift the card, because their artifact is indestructible. Punch them. No, let's see if they can keep up with our creatures. So far, they're just playing spot removal. And black control is really good, but sometimes they really can't keep up. Lewis the Pompous Pillager, what's this do? Enters with X +1/+1 counters on him. When he enters, he deals X damage to target opponent. Oh, okay. Alright, so he's a 5/4 with lifelink. Yeah, that's cool. Alright, well, next, attack for 4. Do you block? Alright, he's letting it come through. Alright, well, do that, and we'll play another scrap shooter. This wouldn't happen to be an artifact, would it? No. It's just a guy. Alright, play it. I can give it a card. 15. Yeah, that's the thing is like I like the gift mechanic because if you're playing the deck correctly, you likely aren't going to have to worry too much about what they draw, because you'll just be ending the game before it becomes relevant. Oh, what the? You're a jerk, dude. Come on now. All right, let's go Valley Might Caller into Scrap Shooter. All right, see what you got, champ. I got 6 power. Maze Mine Tome might not be good enough. Alright, he draws a card. Interesting deck he's got here, though, because like he's got creatures that drain you out, and he also has Villainous Wrath to drain you out too, and swipe the board. That's pretty decent, honestly. Alright, we're gonna play. Okay, this is Terran Tusk. He's actually Spider Ham. He's a really stupid card, but he gives my boys +1, so he gets to come in. Yep, good old Spider Ham. He also gives me a food token, which I can use to gain some life, if necessary. Is he going to harness the stone? At the beginning of your upkeep, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Okay. So that means he's going to be able to bring back Louis. But Louis will only come back in as a 1/1, or a 2/1. Because he can't pay the X. Okay, he's just drawing a card. That makes sense. What you gonna do, champ? Strategic Betrayal. Okay. We'll resolve that, and we will lose the Valley Might Caller. Terran Tusk is a little bit more useful to me. Alright, end a turn, sacrifice the food, gain 3 life. Valley Might Caller. Swing batter. Pop, pop. Go to 3. Alright, moment of truth. Either they wipe the board or they don't. Draw a card from the Maze Mine Tome. Bloodletter. Okay, that's cool. Do you have anything else? Doesn't look like it. Alright, Valley Might Caller. And the boys are coming in. Yeah, block 5. Take 5. GG. Just beat him down with stupid little critters. Not bad. Not bad. I'm liking this deck so far. It's working for some reason. Alright, let's go again. Yeah, so the plan with this deck is I want to play a total of 100 games. And every 20 games that we complete, I want to start evolving the deck and making adjustments and changing it, taking out things that don't really work so well, bringing things in that do work, until we get to like a final form of the deck at 100 wins. Okay, opponent goes first. We have 3 lands, both of our colors. We have Burst Lightning, Screaming Nemesis, Valley Might Caller, and Keen-Eyed Curator. It seems decent. I'm going to keep it. Lane and Vanguard. So we got ourselves another life gain deck. So I'm going to go Forest to play Valley Might Caller. We're going to play this Stomping Ground on 2, so we can play the Keen-Eyed Curator on 2. Oh, interesting. It's an Orzhov deck. Okay. You have my attention. Alright, Stomping Ground. Pay the 2 life to do it. Bring in the Keen-Eyed Curator. Valley Might Caller gets a +1. Attack for 2. Pop. Okay. Play at Plains. And what do they do with said Plains? You pay 2 life to draw a card. You're kind of going in the opposite direction there, friend. Alright, well, let's see here. Let's play... I'm going to do the Restless Ridgeline this turn. We're going to do the Soulstone Sanctuary next turn, so that I can play Screaming Nemesis and use Burst Lightning if they try to kill it. So we're going to swing in with 5. Alright, your turn. Yeah, I'm kind of like a whore for data too. It's like I love seeing what we can do with like data-driven results. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, resolve that. I don't really care. Swinging for 4? Sure, do it. Alright, and a turn, 3 to your face. Alright, my turn. I'm going to do the Soulstone Sanctuary. We're going to bring the Screaming Nemesis in. We're going to swing. You better start blocking. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to do the damage to your face. Move him to 4. End game? Yeah, I guess so. Well, especially at that point, because you're not gaining life anymore for the rest of the game, which totally shuts off your engines. I love getting paired up against life gain decks. Synapse Necromage. Cool card. Alright, let's play again. So how you guys doing tonight? You guys having a fun time? I know I am. I just like turning cards sideways right now. Okay. Mountain, Forest, Screaming Nemesis, Valley Might Caller, Terran Tusk, Scrap Shooter, and Surak. Looks pretty decent. Let's go with it. Yeah, I've been running into a lot of life gain recently too. That's honestly why I've been trending towards red lately, simply for Screaming Nemesis. I really like being paired up against a life gain deck and just being able to completely shut that off. Alright, we're going to go Forest turn 1 into Valley Might Caller. And we'll probably go into Terran Tusk next turn unless we draw another green source. Alright, we got a white mana. Zookeeper Mechan, say what? Okay, so taps for red. That's cool. Alright, let's see here. Yeah, I'm going to play the Stomping Ground, pay the 2 life to get into play, play the Keen-Eyed Curator. And we will not attack this turn. It's pointless. Yeah, I'd say the most common decks I've been running into have been Life Gain, Izzet, and random mono black piles. A lot of mono black piles. I don't know if it's just because like that's where I am on the ladder at the moment, because right now I'm only in gold. But those are the decks I've been running into the most. And honestly, this deck kind of seems really well suited for that, because you can shut off the life gain, and you also punish your opponent a lot for them targeting your stuff. What does this do? At the beginning of your first main phase, discard a card. If you do, draw a card. Whenever you play a land or cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand, this enchantment deals 1 damage to each opponent. Okay, cool. So here's what I'm going to do. We're going to play this Mountain, and I'm going to play the Scrap Shooter, gifting a card, and we're going to destroy their enchantment. Ooh, do we destroy the enchantment? Or do we destroy their blocker? I think we destroy their blocker. Yeah, I'm gonna blow their blocker up. I really don't care too much about that card. Or the enchantment, I mean. Oh, he's gonna cycle it. He's cycling. Get out of here. Alright, we're gonna sack for 6. Yeah, I think that was the right play. Alright. Discard a card, draw a card. You know, as much as I dislike the Spider-Man set, I do like that we have, like, in-universe versions of the cards. Like, lore-wise, I think it's kind of cool. Like, anytime I get to see more Quintorius cards, I'm kind of happy. Is he just, like, cycling a bunch of cards that he's going to try and, like, resurrect later? Is that what's going on here? I feel like there's, like, a combo coming that I just haven't seen yet. Swing. Three, 6, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, that's game. If he doesn't do anything about any of my creatures, this is game right now. Elspeth Smite? Okay, you're gonna deal 3 to that. Okay, yeah, that was actually pretty smart, because I can't really do anything about that. Okay. Alright, you go to 4. End the turn. Let's see what you do. Yeah, do it. Do it, lady. I don't know if any of you guys have been like watching like the Chit Show shorts, but I've been enthralled by that stupid show. I really feel like they're going the route of workaholics, and they're going to end up with like a television show at some point. No witnesses. Each player controls the most creatures, investigates, then destroy all creatures. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do right now is I'm going to blast my boy before they get destroyed. And deal 2 damage to your face. There we go. That way you can't get... Oh, I probably should have hang on to that, because I could have just blasted them for 4. Oh well. Live and learn, then you get loves. Alright, play Surrock. Play Terran Tusk. But now, we do have that inevitability of the fact that they can't gain life for the rest of the game, so as soon as I draw a burn spell of any kind, it's game. Yeah, Nana loves Chit. It's so funny. Like, I never would have expected a lady of her age to be so into Chit's nonsense, but I love it. Alright, well, let's play the Keen-Eyed Curator. And we'll play this clue. And then we will pass the turn. No attacks. End turn. So now we just wait for them to try and resurrect another thing, and we'll just target whatever they try to resurrect with our Keen-Eyed Curator. We just really need to draw into another burn spell at this point. They also need to put another creature on the board, because otherwise I'm just going to kill them next turn with creatures. This is an interesting deck, though. I will give them that. Flying crew? Okay, cool. Looks good to me. Oh, it's not a creature, though. Kind of sucks for them. Alright, before the end of turn, I'm going to activate that and draw a card. Not a burn spell. That's fine. Alright, well, while we still have your attention, let's go ahead and start removing cards from their graveyard. So that's 2. Let's do it again. See if we have another thing in there that has multiple types. Oh, we got a land. We'll take that too. So we just need to remove one more thing. Ooh, that just wins the game. All right, we're going to play that. We're going to play the Scrap Shooter, get the card, destroy your Detention Chariot. Okay. They will, of course, activate their crude creature. That's fine. They still lose their chariot. And they still lose the game. Scrap Shooter wins games. I love that card so much. I need to get some of those in paper. It's such a good card. A 4/4 that comes into play with a disenchant. It's so good. Especially in this current format where everyone is playing some level of enchantments or artifacts to get their game plan going. It is such a strong card. Now, if only we had Viridian Shaman as well. That would be really cool. Kind of reminds me of the old Affinity times, where everyone was running some kind of artifact hate. Okay, so we get to go first. We have Soulstone Sanctuary, Mountain, and Forest, Lightning Strike, Screaming Nemesis, Potpatch Recruit, and Keynote Curator. So honestly, it looks pretty good to me. I'm gonna keep it. All right, turn 1, Forest into Potpatch. Cute little bunny with a weird-looking mace. Ooh, Lenore Elves. Okay. Ooh, another Potpatch. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and play this mountain. And then we're going to Lightning Strike their elves, so they can't ramp. And now we're going to attack for 2. And now next turn, with the Soulstone Sanctuary, I will either be able to play Potpatch with Offspring, or play the Screaming Nemesis. Alright, let's go here. Let's go Potpatch times 2. Attack for 2. Now, if they happen to have a Snakeskin Veil, that will actually beat us. Okay, they don't. Awesome. Grizzly Bill. Alright. Play a fetch land? No, just play a forest. Okay. I was expecting a fetch land. Alright. Well, let's go with Screaming Nemesis. Attack for 3. Pop. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I expected. Alright, another +1. You want to come on in? I still explore, okay. So this is, you may play an additional land on each of your turns. You may play lands from your graveyard, and whenever a land you control enters mill card. Okay, cool. Oh, and they're playing red too. Interesting. I'm blocking that. Come on now. I ain't that silly. Alright, let's see here. Let's play Surok. And we're going to not attack anymore and just wait for them to swing into me with a really big creature. Alright. Yep. Comes a 4/6. Very cool. Ooh. More +1 counters. Do they attack? I didn't think so. Alright, let's go ahead and play Valley Might Caller. And also, Hired Claw. And here's the awesome thing, is if they try to target any of my things, I get a whole bunch of bonuses. And also, their creatures don't have trample, so anything they swing into me with gets blocked by a Screaming Nemesis. Ooh, Tifa. Now that could be a problem. That could be a big problem. Okay. Well, we got a stomping ground, so we're gonna play that. Actually, do you have any artifacts? No, I didn't think so. That's fine. Let's go ahead and play stomping ground. It'll come in. We'll pay the 2 life to activate it. That's fine. And we'll play the keen-eyed curator. All right. Valley Might Collar gets a little bit bigger. Next. No attacks, not yet. Your creatures are a little bit too big for me. So we are kind of at a stalemate at the moment. Phosphor Hydra. Yeah, I think they're going to outpace us pretty quickly here. Let's see what they do. Yeah, they're just going to keep passing the turn until they get to a point where they can run us over in a single turn. So that means we need to draw some removal very quickly. That's not removal. Not at all. Let's see. So, for now, we kind of still have to just sit still. We don't really have anything else we can really do at this point. So, next. No attacks, end turn. This is not a good time for me. Snakeskin Veil, huh? Okay. Gets a +1 counter. And Hexproof for this turn. Turn's over. Manowar Elves, okay. They're kind of like at a point where they can't really do a lot. Oh, I see now. They put the +1 counter on Tifa so that Bristly Bill could do something about it. That makes sense. Alright, end turn. Let's take that Snakeskin Veil. And we'll also animate the Soulstone Quarry. There's a Snakeskin Veil. Kind of pointless, honestly, though. We're not really doing anything with that. Do we have anything in the yard? We have instant. We already have an instant under the guy, so that's not really doing us any good. It's absurd to me that we've gone so far and not drawn a single instant. Like no removal at all. So we're kind of stuck here until either they run me over or I actually draw into some removal. You would name your chocobos Wayne Brady? I can't say I'm too surprised, honestly. Because these chocobos definitely want to choke a bitch. Those boys are getting very large. Large and in charge. Alright, anything else? You may need to choke a bow. Really? You're coming in like that. Okay, well, I guess let's go to blocks. And we will block that with that. It's going to deal 18 damage back to you. Really? Did you just give up? You literally just gave up. I guess the stalemate was just not sparking joy for him. He literally could have just waited me out until he drew into enough lands to run me over with his tremble creatures. I do not know why he did that. That makes no sense to me. Wife said his dinner. Yes. Yes, definitely. That's so funny. Like, alright, game's over. GG. Alright, opponent goes first. We have 4 lands, 3 creatures. They're all kind of decent. I mean, typically I wouldn't keep a 4-land hand with this deck, but to hell with it. Let's go. Okay. Fabled Passage comes in first, so they're going to go get a land that comes into play tapped. And it's a mountain. Very cool. Alright, so for my first turn, I'm going to play a Stomping Ground. We're going to pay the 2 life, so it comes into play untapped. And we're going to bring a Fired Claw into play. And then next turn, I think we're going to play a Forest and play the Keynote Curator. Weapons Manufacturing. All right. Now we have an interesting game. Play the Keynote. Attack for 2. Pop him and slap him. Legion Extruder. Okay, it's going to deal 2 damage to my Hired Claw. Very unfortunate. Alright, next turn, we're going to go Stomping Ground. We're going to pay the 2 life to bring it into play. And I'm going to get a Surak. We're going to attack for 3. So now, if they continue trying to target my creatures, I'll be able to draw cards off of it. Okay, I'm just going to sacrifice the munitions, deal 2 to my face, get a 3/3. Alright, cool. Let's go and Lightning Strike that. Play the Soulstone Sanctuary and attack for 7. Okay, and after that we end the turn. Another Weapons Manufacturing. And a concession from our opponent because they couldn't draw past 2 lands. Risky keep. Pretty cool. Yeah, it does suck to get mana screwed. Can't play the game if you don't have the lands. Okay. Our opponent now is a Yargle Enjoyer. And this is a terrible hand. I cannot keep this. Only 1 Forest and Soulstone Sanctuary. I love Soulstone Sanctuary, but it doesn't help me play cards. So it's got to go. Let's mulligan that away. Okay, it's a little bit better. Not by much. Keep it, and we'll send one of the 2 Suraks back. Wait till turn 5 ones with only 2 on the board and still go back. Yeah, I actually won a game last night at FNM. I was playing Simic against Vivi Cauldron, and I kept a 2-land hand, and I just barely got the win. Simply just because I happened to be able to get a bunch of like small creatures out off of that 2-land. So it kind of worked out for me. Let's see. So we don't have anything to play turn 1, so that means we're free to play the Restless Ridgeline on 1. It does kind of suck that we don't have any turn 2 plays either, other than a Lightning Strike. Infinite Mana deck. Is that what I'm playing against here? Well, if that's the case, we should probably do something about that. So let's go ahead and cast a Lightning Strike on Llanowar Elves. See if they let it happen. They could counter. I don't know. Alright. Get that elf out of here. Always bolt the bird. Alright, what's going on? Okay, they played a land, comes away tapped. Breeding Pool. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to play the Soulstone Sanctuary, and I'm going to play Surak because Surak cannot be countered. Boom. Surak is here. Will they bounce Surak and allow me to draw a card? Only time will tell. Oh, Vivi, yeah. Yeah. That deck is a pain in the ass. I lucked out pretty hard because my opponent actually didn't get time to draw into their Vivi before I blew them up. Okay, awesome. I will definitely draw a card. Ooh, and Boris for the Suruk, I'll definitely make that trade. Hell yeah. You ate both your Sammys? Nice. Ooh, or a Boroid. Get the shit out of here. I don't really have anything to deal with the Ouroboros. That kind of sucks. All right, well, let's in web off of the Suruk. All right, big boys here, and oh gosh, I think I will actually hang on to my mana so that I can play the Snakeskin Veil on two, or on their turn when they try to do something silly. Seems WotC all but confirmed they'll be nerfing Vivi Cauldron. But what needs to go? Vivi. Honestly, I really think it's Vivi. Because Cauldron has existed in Standard for all of like 3 years at this point, and it has not become a problem until Vivi came out. So, one of two things is going to happen. Either they will ban Vivi and keep Cauldron, or they will ban both Vivi and Cauldron. Because if they decide to ban both, then that actually frees up design space quite a bit so that they can start bringing other interesting cards into Standard without having to worry about designing around the Cauldron. But if they go the other way, then they kind of are kneecapping themselves a little bit in the fact that they can't design really interesting activated abilities so long as Cauldron remains in Standard. If that makes any sense. Attack for 8. Bam! Take that damage. Alright, let's go ahead and in web. Let's do this right. In web, yes. Bounce Boris. Get Boris. Play Valley Nightcaller. Pass turn. Okay, now that they know I have double Boris, they might block next turn. We'll find out. Big boys. Alright, now you got a 9-8. That's disgusting. Alright, no blocks. Ow. Ow. Oh, I'm a 0. I probably should have paid attention to my life total. No big deal. I wasn't going to win that game anyways. Alright, let's see what our data is at right now. Give me just a moment here. For some reason, my overlay is not working appropriately. I have to actually go to the website itself. Like, it's still tracking my games, but it's not opening the web page whenever I click on it. Very annoying. Uno momento por favor. Oh, come on now. Just take me to my tracking. That's all I need. It's literally all I use your website for. Okay, so we are at 12 and 5 so far. So that is 17 games total. So we've won 12, lost 5, which puts us at a win rate of 71% so far. That's actually really good. So we're going to play 3 more games before we decide whether or not we want to make some changes. Not bad. Not bad at all. All right, let's play some more. If your fuse timer runs down and you don't have any time extensions, you'll automatically pass through the current term. Though I would like to see better designed Vivi-esque cards. If it does get banned, it's so strange that it doesn't even have to tap to become absolutely broken. That's the thing too, is and that's one of the big reasons why I don't like Universes Beyond stuff being in standard is because this stuff is very clearly designed for Commander. Because all of this Universes Beyond stuff, it's made for people who don't normally play Magic. They see that their favorite intellectual property is coming to the game, and they're like, "Hey, cool! Final Fantasy is coming, or Warhammer is coming to Magic. Now I have a reason to play." So that's great for Commander players because that's like casual, and it doesn't really matter what you do in Commander. But to have it like ham-fisted into Standard, it really screws things up a lot because now you have to balance around that. And also the fact that the sets are coming to us at such a breakneck speed right now that a lot of cards aren't given enough time to be properly tested and balanced before they go to print. So we really have this problem of getting too much stuff coming to us, not enough balanced consideration, and us having to deal with the fallout. And like we saw it before with Modern Horizons and that silly bird, and now we're seeing it again with Vivi. And I guarantee you, we're gonna see it again because we have 7 more sets coming in the next year, and 4 of them being Universes Beyond. I mean, it's just nasty. I mean, I got no other word for it other than it's just nasty. Yeah, I saw the roadmap. It's not looking good. Ow. All right, let's see here. Well, we kind of have to do this right now, so let's go and blast that. It's going to move its counter over, which is fine, but at least the Essence Channeler's off the board. Attack for 2. I probably should not have kept this hand. I got distracted. Hallelujah. Gain a life. Healer's Hawk is going to deal 2. That's going to be 3 life they need to draw a card. Good play. Oh, there we go. Finally got a land. Let's see here. Can't do both, unfortunately. Alright, well, we can do this. Lightning Strike then. Attack for 2. Get you back down to 20. Let's see what you got. Another Healer's Hawk. Alright, that's cool. And another Plains. Got 4 cards left in hand still. I want to keep that mana available though, just in case you try something silly. Alright, that'll do. So let's see here. Let's go ahead and attack for 2 and see what you do about it. Do you want to block? Yeah, I didn't think so. Alright, let's go ahead and do that. And I don't think I want to worry too much about that Healer's Hawk just yet. I want to play the Surrak. Potentially draw my way out of this deficit if they choose to target my creatures. Were the comments under a Magic Con ATL video where they were celebrating only 3 sets in 2026? They are so beyond reproach at this point. Like that, they're celebrating it because it's making them so much fucking money right now. That's why they're so excited by it. Alright, let's Burst Lightning that. We will pay the 2 extra. Get that off the table. Give me my Surrak back. Attack for 2. And keep that Snakeskin Veil open. Yeah, well, that's the thing about Universes Beyond, is like, business-wise, it is an absolute banger of a decision. It is probably the best decision they've ever made. But for purists like me that really despise things like Universes Beyond, um, it it really just feels like a slap in the face sometimes. Like, for the longest time, I was so happy for it to just be a thing where they bring Universes Beyond into the fold and it just goes to Commander and I can just ignore it because I don't play a lot of Commander. I just like to play Standard and Limited sometimes. But now that we're forced to acknowledge it, it just really bugs me. All right, let's go ahead and Boris. We're going to in-web for Surrak. Put into play. Then we're going to play Surrak again. Okay. We should be able to turn the tables this next turn. Oh, Banishing Light. Okay, that's fine. I'll still draw a card off of it. That's a decent card, too. Maybe I can draw into, Oh, no, I didn't. That's fine. Alright, let's do this. I'll pay the 2. No big deal. Just gotta get that off the table. Wait. What? Oh, son of a bitch. I was not paying attention. I chose the kicked Burst Lightning. I'm so dumb. Oh my god. Alright. Alright, lane in Vanguard. You got it, champ. See, that's what happens when I am so distracted. I just can't do anything. Let's play this other one. Attack. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they're gonna attack for 3 above my creature, so that's gonna be game. Okay, I need to focus up and not do stupid shit like that anymore. Yeah, I chose the wrong option. I wanted to non-kicker, pay for the ward cost. I was distracted. I was too embroiled in my anti-Universes Beyond tirade. Yeah. Hey, Stella Bravo, how you doing? Yeah, that was total on me. I was way too distracted. All right. Okay, that's just upsetting. I should not be seeing a divide like this. Come on, let's mulligan that. Get something better. Okay, that's better. We'll keep that. We got Burst Lightning, Hired Claw, Keen-Eyed Curator, and Scrap Shooter. I will keep all of that except for the Mountain. Because something tells me that I'm going to get a card draw off my first turn. Oh, let's emote. Say hello. Okay, Thundering Falls, they get to surveil 1. And it's a Vivi deck. Of course it is. Alright, whatever, man. Let's go turn 1. Thorn-Inspired Verge will give us a Hired Claw. Weren't we just talking about this deck in particular? Oh, bye-bye. Alright, well, that's fine. At least we're getting our lands here. So let's go Forest. That's going to activate a Thorn-Inspired Verge, getting us to a Keen-Eyed Curator. Pass the turn. So, oh, we're just got... Now this just got interesting. Okay. Alright, let's go Forest, and then we're going to play Spider Ham. Alright, Keen-Eyed Curator is now at 4/4. We will attack for 4, and hopefully they don't have a bounce spell. Oh, they're gonna burst my boy. Alright, he's bursted. Alright, take that 3 damage then. No respect for the spider ham. Elegant Parlor, Seville 1. Alright. You do your thing. As a stock up into the yard. That tells me they have a stock up in their hand. Alright, well, let's, first off, get that Vivi out of the graveyard. Alright, well, Stomping Ground. I'll pay 2 life. Comes into play. And then we'll play Scrap Shooter. No gift. End turn. Because they don't have anything for me to blow up. Stock up. Alright. You do your thing. Alright, you drew 2 cards. Play a Surveil land. Alright, in a turn, I'm gonna blast your face just because I can. Alright, wow, I'm drawing a whole lot of lands this game. This is definitely not what I need. Alright, take it. End turn. Yes, it definitely cooked my ham. It wasn't even honey baked. Aw, man. Now you're just being mean. Alright, pass. Alright, well, got nothing else to do, so let's sacrifice that food. Gain some life. Alright, my turn. Ooh, okay. That's too many lands, so we are not going to be able to catch up at this point. Next game. Gotta know when to hold him and know when to fold him. That was much more of a controlling version of Vivi. Typically, you don't see that much removal from them. Okay, we get to go first. We have Thornspire Verge and Forest. We have Hired Claw, Burst Lightning, Lightning Strike, Pot Patch, and good old Spider Ham. I think I'll keep it. It looks decent. Alright, we're going to go Thornspire Verge first, so we have access to red. Play the Hired Claw. End turn. Okay, a swamp. Do you have turn 1 removal? No, you have a Tiny Bones. So let's go here. We're going to go Burst Lightning right there. And then we're going to play the Paw Patch Recruit. Make it difficult for you to target my boys. Now, if we happen to be lucky and draw into a 3rd land this next turn, we can Paw Patch with Offspring next turn. And make it really difficult for them to target our stuff. Oh, a Forsaken Miner. I like it when they play Forsaken Miner because it can't block. It's very nice. I like it a lot. Are they playing Skeleton Tribal? That'd be pretty interesting. Oh, okay. Hired Claw gets bigger. Okay, unfortunately we did not get what we needed, but we do have a Spider Ham. Alright, Big Lizard. Attack for 3. 4. Pop, pop. Don't kill my ham. He's a good boy. He did nothing to you. What do you think about that, champ? Looks like you're stuck on 2 lands just like I am. Ah, come on, man. That's my piggy. He's a good boy. Alright. Well, let's just go ahead and get our Hired Claw out there. And attack for 3. And at this point, I don't want to wait to get that 3rd land. Because that 3rd land might never come. So let's get the Pop Patch out. Da 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 da. Scooby-Dooby-Doo-Doo-Doo. What you gonna do? I ain't blocking that. You gotta be crazy. Take that too. Sunset Saboteur. Okay. I'm interested. And a Forsaken Miner. So you can block with that, but nothing else. So, what's it got here? It's Menace, Ward, discard a card. So, if they block my biggest guy, that's going to be this guy right here. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage getting through. Or I can just make them get rid of that. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to Burst Lightning. That. We'll pay the ward cost of discard a card. We'll discard the Scream Nemesis. Get rid of that. And now we're just going to swing in. Okay. They're at 3. I'm at 16. They can't deal enough damage to kill me this turn, so they're going to lose next turn. Because I have a Lightning Strike. Show me what you got. Oh, it's a Cecil. So, you're going to attack with the Forsaken Miners. Because they can't block anyways. No point in keeping them back. Da 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 da. Anytime now. Ah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. GG. Yeah, having creatures that can't block, not always the best. Not always the best. Twisted Sewer Witch. Very cool. Alright, we're going to play more. I think one more is what we need to finish out this first 20 games. And then we can see where we're sitting. Oh, they got a Sliver avatar. How fancy. Bunny goes first. We have 4 lands. Pot Patch, Valley, and Scrap Shooter. I'm going to keep it. It looks good to me. Okay, they play a Swamp into Tiny Bones. Alright, I will play Stomping Ground. Pay the 2 life to make it happen. Play Valley Might Caller. And don't you dare kill my Might Caller. Okay, that's fine. That's totally fine. Yeah. Oh, no, I'll discard 2 lands. Absolutely. I don't need those. I'd rather have my actionable cards. Okay, Thornspire Verge. And then we'll play... Actually, we'll attack first. See if they take the bait. It did. That's what I thought. Alright, Pot Patch. Oh, discards 2 cards. Okay, so I guess we'll just discard those. Ooh, I like that. Alright, attack for 2. Then we'll get Boris into play. Bouncing the Pot Patch back. Risky plays, because now all they have to do is kill Boris. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that was actually really good for them. That sucks. Alright, that's fine. Hey, Stomping Ground. Perfect. Pay the 2 life. Comes in. Get the Scrap Shooter. Gift him a card. Get rid of that enchantment. Alright, to get a Swamp. Banish out. Sure. Discard a card. I only have one choice. And discard destroy a creature. Alright. We're in top deck mode now. Yep. Ooh, going to level 3. Yep. Alright, my turn. Alright. Curator. We may lose this one. This is not looking good for us. Especially with the high level of removal they're running over there. Okay, you got a carry back. And killing my dude. Yeah, he's gone. Yep. Alright. Well, let's play Boris. Now, if you would kindly stop killing my creatures, I would be a much happier person. But I don't think you're going to give me that grace. Yeah, that's what I thought. Alright, this game's over. I don't need to keep playing that. Okay, so now that we've gotten that far, I believe that's 20 games. So we're going to take a look where we're sitting here. So let me do a quick double check. Okay, 13 and 8. Okay, that was actually 21 games. So at 21 games, that's 13 wins and 8 losses with a win rate of 62%. Not too shabby. So that is a good thing to know. So here's what we're going to do now. After 21 games. Oh my god, yeah, there's so much removal. But that's what happens when you're playing a creature-based strategy and you happen to get paired up against removal tribal. You're not going to win in most cases. So let's take a look at the deck and see what kind of things we can change. So this is what we're running, in case you haven't seen it so far. We got 3 Burst Lightning, 4 Hired Claw. We got 4 Paw Patch, 2 Snakeskin Veil, 4 Valley Might Collar, 3 Lightning Strike. We got 2 Terran Tusk, 3 Keen-Eyed Curator, 3 Screaming Nemesis, 3 Surrock, 3 Scrap Shooter, and 2 Boris. Now, the lands themselves, I think the lands actually need a change. So I think I want to go down 1 Soulstone Sanctuary and down 1 Mountain. We're going to go up 1 Restless Ridgeline and 1 Forest, simply because drawing so many Soulstones early and so many mountains early is just not really conducive to the way this deck is playing. I'm not liking not being able to play my green cards early. So that's one change we're going to make so far. Remember the starter deck upgrade you made to the Gruul Power Fort? Yes, yeah, that is actually another direction that this deck can actually take, is going the ferocious route. And ferocious being a keyword, basically meaning it wants creatures of power 4 or greater. Now that is definitely another direction we can take. But I have another idea of what I want to do here. So one of the things that this deck really suffers with is reach and like being able to close out the game from a deficit, like as what you saw with that last game. It's like if our opponent gets a foothold and manages to control us effectively, it really screws us over. So things that I do like about the deck is I love Surrock, because Surrock allows us to draw cards when our stuff gets targeted. I love Paw Patch Recruit. Being able to get +1 counters when our stuff gets removed is actually really, really strong. So I think something we want to change is I want to get rid of Terran Tusk, because he is cute, but I think there's another card that I want to involve into this deck, and I'll show you right now. I feel we need a little bit of hastiness, and I think Frenzied Baloth is absolutely going to be the card to help us out. And especially if we are shifting our mana around to be more green-centric rather than red-centric, I think this could actually do well for us, because I want some more hasty creatures, some more guys that are just going to come in and just start beating ass as soon as they hit the table. So, Frenzy Baloth, pretty solid. We also need to remove 2 other cards in order to fit this in. So, I think what we want to do is I want to remove 1 Hired Claw, because it doesn't really fit with the Valley Might Collar. We also honestly, now that we're making some more changes to this, and like the Valley Might Collar might be another thing to go out as well. Yes, I was actually thinking about the Ouroboros, but another card I was actually thinking of too was the Axebane Ferox. So let's consider some things here real quick. So let's actually try a build that is not worrying too much about creature types. So let's take out the Valley Might Callers, and that gives us 3 more cards to play with. So let's take a look. Axebane. Axebane Ferox is a very interesting card because it's a 4/4 for 4 that has Death Touch, Haste, and Ward collect evidence for. So if we are running a card like this, it's another card that has Haste, has Death Touch, which is great for dealing with those bigger creatures. And it's something that our opponent can't very easily deal with, especially when we're removing cards with Keen-Eyed Curator. So I'm thinking I want to try and run a couple of those. So let's see about dropping Boris out as well and bringing 2 copies of the Axebane Ferox in. So I think that might be a decent start. Now that also gives us 3 more cards to play with. So our turn 1, we still have Burst Lightning, 3 Hired Claw, 4 Popatch Recruit, and Snakeskin Veil. Turn 2, we got Frenzy Baloth and Keen-Eyed Curator. Turn 3, we got Screaming Nemesis, Surrock, and Scrap Shooter. And turn 4 with Axebane Ferox. So, not too bad, not too bad. We have mountains, forest. How many lands are we running? Okay, we're running 24 lands right now. Okay, so 24 and capping out our curve at 4. I think we could still kind of run this. So, I'm thinking we're going to bring a couple copies of Ouroboros in. Hemosimpic Might as a 1-drop into Frenzied. Yeah, that is actually pretty decent. That's not a bad idea, honestly. Okay. So let's see here. Let's get Ouroboros. Okay. Ouroboros, I think maybe running as a 2 of might be smart. Now, we need some space to play with here. So, again, I really like Surrock. I really like Popatch Recruit because of the fact that they kind of punish our opponent when they try to deal with our stuff. So, I think what we can do here. Let's go down 1 on the Popatch, and that'll give us room for 2 mites. Hemosimpic Might. Whenever this creature becomes tapped, another target creature control gets +X/+X to one turn where X is this creature's power. Now, there's not a whole lot of ways to increase the power of this might early. It comes a little bit later in the form of Ouroboros. So honestly, this guy would kind of just be a 1/1 until we can start raising its power later. So I'm not 100% convinced that the might is going to be that great in this deck, at least not in this current iteration of it. So I think I'm going to chill on the Hemosimpic Might just yet. So that being said, let's increase the Popatch back to 4. And let's see here. What else will we might want another copy of? Yeah, let's actually go to 3 copies of Ouroboros. Yeah. So I'm going to do 4 Popatch, 3 Ouroboros. So our breakdown of red to green is still pretty good. So we're running a lot more green than we are running of red. The red is pretty much just Hired Claw, Burst Lightning, Lightning Strike, and Screaming Nemesis. Everything else is green value beatdown. So let's try this for a couple games because it is almost 8 o'clock. So I will have to go to bed pretty soon, but I think we have enough time to play at least 5 games. So we can check this out and see how well this does. And we also changed our mana around a little bit, so we're a little bit more green heavy than red. So here we go. Let's go play some games and have some fun. Alright, give me just one moment. I'm gonna go get a drink. I'll be right back. Oh, okay. Well, that's disappointing. Even after making the changes to my man, I'm still screwed on the lands. Alright. Okay, that's a little bit better. Not by much. Thornspire, Mountain, Soulstone. I'm thinking I'll keep it. I'll keep 6. I'm going to send the Frenzy Bailiff back because this is the only thing that I really can't play early. So we'll keep that. We'll go Mountain. I'm thinking I might have to make even more changes to the mana base. I might need to just remove the mountains altogether in favor of forests. Okay, Vine Lasher. Alright, that's interesting. Alright, Thornspire. Let's go ahead and play the Popatch Recruit. Actually, no. Cancel that. I'm going to play the Popatch next turn when I can play it for its offspring cost. I'm assuming they're going to try and play a fetch land this turn to try and get extra damage in. If so, we can just Lightning Strike in response. Oh, just Mountain. Okay, that's fine. Alright, take the damage. Now that's something that we definitely want to Lightning Strike. Yeah, I'll take the hit. No big deal. Take action. So we're up against Rakdos Lizards. I haven't seen this deck in a long time. Yeah, take the hit. Alright, let's go Soulstone. Yeah, I was right. Soulstone Sanctuary. Alright, Popatch. Pay the extra. Get the offspring. Now, if I can draw a land this next turn, this is actually going to curve out really well. If not, well, better luck next time. Valley Flamecaller. Say what? If a lizard, mouse, otter, raccoon you control will deal damage to a permanent or a player, it deals damage +1. Cool. Alright. That's good to know. Well, or a Boroid. Attack for 3. We'll have to get rid of the Valley Flamecaller if he doesn't want to take this damage. Ouroboros is just a really ridiculous card. But using Starting Town and Multiverse. You know what? That might not be a terrible idea. Multiversal Passage, I'm a little hesitant to play in a deck that already has access to Shocklands, simply because it will only tap for one or the other. It won't tap for both. Alright, take the damage, cool. Alright, hit me for 2. I have to deal with that sooner or later. It's the long goodbye. Alright, well, let's get another counter of that Ouroboros. And another counter right there. Pop, pop. And a Magebane Lizard. Very nice. I like that. I love Magebane Lizard. It's a really cool card. Let's see. Yes, but at least you can pick the color. You know, that's very true. I just don't know 100% if it's worth that cost of paying 2 life to have it come into play untapped. Let's see here. So, I could play the Keynote Curator here, but then I wouldn't be able to play my Snakeskin Veils. So I'm just going to go to combat. And we're going to attack. For a lot. This is kind of forcing them into dealing with me. The Ouroboros are getting way too big. Okay, cool. So I'm very happy to see them block the Magebane. Alright, go to 11. And end turn. So if they try to remove my creatures this turn, I can use my Snakeskin Veils to save my guys. And if they don't, I can just activate the Soul Stone at the end of turn, and then swing in for lethal next turn. Well, honestly, I still have lethal on the board. Alright. Taking 2 damage there. Then taking 2 more. That's a pretty brutal combo right there. Get that extra damage in. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 if they attack. Let's see what they're gonna do. Hellspur Posse Boss. Other outlaws you control have haste. When this creature enters, create 2 mercenaries. Ooh. Okay. Is that enough to do me in? Are they going to attack? Yes. Okay, they are definitely attacking. Yeah. Alright, we're going to take the damage. Pop, pop. We go to 3. Alright, moment of truth. Let's see what happens. Activate Soulstone. Ooh, another Ouroboros. That's kind of dirty. I don't think I want to tap out to do it, though. So, let's go ahead and get big. And swing in. Let's see what they do. So you got 12 trample damage coming through. So let's see what they do. Alright, block 1 there. That's fine. Block 1 there. Okay, so you're blocking 4 there. So 4. Even if I use a Snakeskin Veils, it's not going to be enough. Which is fine. I can play the Keen-Eyed Curator and then have 2 blockers. Yeah, so the only way they would be able to get enough damage through is if they get a fetch land. So, let's find out. Yeah. Okay. So, if they get a fetch land, I'm screwed. Otherwise, I'm okay with the Keen-Eyed Curator being on play. Alright. End turn. Hi, Tundra. Being a good girl? Tundra's visiting me. She needs some attention. Bye. Oh, it's the long goodbye, huh? Alright, well. Make it bigger. Yeah, it does destroy it. Okay. Well, I guess let's just do this while we're here. Remove that. Resolve. Resolve. Yep. Okay. Spyglass Mentor. Okay. It's gonna generate some mana. We're gonna attack in. We're gonna block and kill that. We're gonna take 2 damage. None of that is extra damage. Oh wait, no it is. It is. It's just enough to get there. Good game. That's what happens when you don't draw removal. You know, I was considering that. That idea was running through my head. Getting the Ouroboros just a little bit bigger for a little bit extra points of damage. Alright, let's go again. And let's hope for not as bad of a terrible start. Because that was awful. But hey, like, we still almost got there despite such an awful start. So, okay, what we got here? So we got 4 lands. Both of our colors. Excellent. We got Paw Patch Recruit, Snakeskin Veil, and Keen-Eye Curator. I'll keep it. Okay, play a mountain. Alright, let's go ahead. Okay, so I kind of want to be able to play the Frenzy Bailiff on 2. So we're going to go with the Ridgeline on 1. Most of those encounters in sack decks have a hit of math that needs... Yeah, that's true. Well, that's the thing, is like, I don't really take things too seriously. Especially not when it comes to Magic. If you win, great. If not, no big deal. Sometimes the math doesn't math. Okay, we are in straight up Mono Red Town. I haven't seen this deck in a long time. Alright, cool. Alright, let's go ahead and go... what do we have here? Yeah, let's go Mountain. And we'll go Paw Patch times 2. And no attacks. I need to have my blockers available. Ooh, Sunspine Lynx. Good card. Yeah, pops us both. Alright. That's gonna block there, that's gonna block there. You're gonna deal the damage to my face. Of course you will. Alright, cool. Okay, there's mine. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and play the Soulstone Sanctuary. And then we're gonna play the Screaming Nemesis. And we'll just chill. Because now we have a big nasty blocker. And if they decide to attack into my my Nemesis, I can Snakeskin it, get it big enough to kill the Lynx, and then shoot the damage at their face. We'll see what they do. Also, the game kind of is in their favor at the moment because they could preemptively try to remove my Screaming Nemesis, or react to me using the Snakeskin Veil when I go to block. Alright, well, let's see what they have. Do they have removal? They have an Abrade. Yeah. Okay. Well, in this case, we can still do this in time to block. Unless they have another... Yeah, they do. They have another burst spell. Oh. That's a little awful. A little awful. Yeah. Alright, well, let's get the Curator in there. Yeah. We're just not gonna win this one. That's just straight up not happening for us. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you get got. Yeah. Well, that's the thing too, is like, despite your best efforts, sometimes they just get there. And they definitely had all the answers in that moment. That was an interesting touch, though, to see a mono red deck mainboarding that cat, the Sunspine Lynx. That was an interesting move. Okay, I have a Stomping Ground and a Thornspire Verge, Hired Claw, Nemesis, Paw Patch, and 2 Ouroboros. Why not? Let's keep it. Okay, blue-white. Let's see if it's mid-range or control. Okay. Turn 1, I think we're going to go with a Thornspire Verge and play a Hired Claw. Turn 2, we don't really have any active plays, but we can still give the Hired Claw a +1 counter. The amount of life gain, I've been seeing a lot of the Lynx as well, but I've never before the Goblins and Lizards. That was... Yeah, Rakdos lizards was kind of a thing when they first came out, but then they fell off pretty hard. I have not seen them in a while. Okay, let's go ahead. I actually can play a second Thornspire and then attack, deal the damage, get the +1. There you go. Oh, tapping out for a Simulacrum Synthesizer. Let's see if I can draw into something cool. That wasn't cool. We still got options, though. Forest. Let's play Pop Patch Recruit ×2. Attack for 2. And an additional. Okay, so next turn, we can play the Ouroboros. Yeah, because they're definitely tapping out this turn. Yep. We're going to get +1 counters here and here. So the Hired Claw's gone. Pop Patch is there. Ouroboros is coming down this turn. And the team is getting huge. Swing. Yeah, you're going to block there. You're going to lose your Construct. We're going to come bash in. And then next turn, we played Screaming Nemesis before going to combat. Thousand Moon Smithy. Okay. Make another guy, and another guy. Alright, let's go ahead and go Stomping Ground. We'll pay the 2 life. Actually, we're going to do this because we need to get big. Okay. Now, we swing. So if they double block the Ouroboros and let the 7/7 through, that's going to allow me to just lightning strike them. Yeah. Perfect. So, provided they don't gain life this next turn, we're going to be in good shape. This is just battle of the big boys. Alright, Cryogen Relic. Cool. Draw a card. Tinker's Tote. They tapped out. Fantastic. Alright, they did not get any life. Alright, and GG. Thank you for tapping out. I appreciate your contribution. That felt really good. I hate that deck so much. Synthesizer.deck. It's one of those decks you don't run into so often, but every time you do, it just pisses you off. I hate seeing it. It's like, honestly, that deck aggravates me more than even, like, running into, like, mono red. It's like, mono red, I get it. I understand why you're playing it. You want quick wins. But that synthesizer deck, it just does something to my psyche that I just cannot get around. It just gets me big mad every time. Okay, opponent goes first. We get Stomping Ground, Forest, Pop Patch, Keen-Eyed, Frenzied Bailout, Scrap Shooter, Ouroboros. That's a solid curve, provided I can draw into some lands. Alright. Storm Chaser's Talent. Okay. Interesting choice. Well, let's go here into Pop Patch Recruit. Okay. We got Riverfire Verge. Planisphere. Okay. Yeah, we'll block and kill that. No big deal. Okay, let's go ahead and play the Stomping Ground. Pay the 2 life. Comes into play. We're gonna get the Frenzied Bailoff. So come in and beat face for 3. There you go. We're still technically in the lead. See how much that changes this turn, though. Oh, look, it's Vivi. Yeah, take the 1. Alright, let's go ahead and play. We're going to play Mountain, and then we're going to play the Scrap Shooter, gifting it, and destroy the Planisphere. You get a card. Attack for 3. Punch him. Okay. So, we got the Restless Ridgeline that'll come out next turn. So, if we don't get a better land next turn, we're going to be playing a Keen-Eyed Curator. Oh, he's opting. He's opting for a better future. What you gonna do? Burst lightning? Okay. It's gone. Anything else? Gonna use Vivi to add 2 mana. Nope, he's just gonna attack in. So, take it for 3. Okay, that's better. Thornspire Verge comes in. Ouroboros. Attack for 5. Alright, takes it. Let's see what happens. Do have access to a lot of mana right now. And Vivi is a +2. So that's 2 extra mana. So that's 6 mana they've accessed so far. Even more. So they're going to choose the 2 perfect cards for the situation. And very likely just bowl me over this turn. I'm imagining that they got a bounce spell for Ouroboros. I'm assuming. Yep, 1 blue, 2 red. Oh, a Slicky. Okay. Alright, Slicky's here. Bounce spell. There's the bounce spell. Yep, that's all I need to see. GG. I'll be so happy when that deck is banned. Getting free mana just for existing is... it's not okay. I don't like it. You would think that over the years, Wizards would learn that being able to cast your spells for free leads to broken interactions. But they still have not learned their lesson. Okay, opponent goes first. We got 3 lands. We do have both of our colors. We have a Snakeskin, a Lightning Strike, a Surrak, and an Ouroboros. I'm going to mulligan this because I don't have anything to do turn 1 or 2. Okay. That's almost as bad. We're going to go to game 3. I don't like going to 5 cards. I would much rather just go to a no game. Let's try that again. Going to 5 cards is not ideal in any situation. Okay. Here's to hoping for a better game. Alright, we go first. We got 2 Stomping Grounds, 2 Lightning Strikes, 2 Pop Patch Recruit, and a Surrak. That's a lot better. We're going to keep this one. Okay. Turn 1, Stomping Ground. Pay the 2 life. Comes into play untapped. Play a Pop Patch Recruit without Offspring. There we go. Hired Claw. Okay, cool. Alright, let's go ahead and play... I'll play the Stomping Ground tap. No, I'll pay the 2 life. Screw it. Yep. Blast that. Don't want it to eventually end up out damaging me, which is a possibility. Sure. It's bursted. And another Hired Claw. Cool. Alright, let's go ahead and play Soulstone Sanctuary and play Surrock. Let's see if you have more removal. Nemesis. Yeah, come on in, champ. I'll block that. Block that all day. Take 4. My turn. Let's go here. We're gonna go Paw Patch times 2. Bean, chill out. My dogs are getting restless. Okay, brain gets bigger. Alright, he's gone. But now I have a 3-3 with Trample. Do you have another Lightning Strike? Sure does. Yep, take some damage. Alright. Let's go Stomping Grounds. Comes to play tapped. And I'm just gonna blow that guy up right now. Put you in top deck mode. That's pretty decent. Alright. Oh, perfect. Forest. Boroid. Let's get bigger. Now he can attack through, because it does have menace. Oh, are you kidding me? A Scorching Shot? Who plays Scorching Shot? See, this is just not good. I'm gonna hold that land in my hand to bluff having a removal spell. Oh, you're kidding me. Okay, I guess that's the new tech, is everyone playing Sunspine Links. Yeah, I guess that's just game. GG. Yeah, yeah, that's decent tech. Sunspine Links. I'll have to keep that in mind. It's pretty good. I feel like we're doing worse now that we've kind of made these changes. I think we might need to go a little bit closer to being more low to the ground again. Let's see. Alright, opponent goes first. 3 lands, both of our colors. Excellent. We got Paw Patch, Snakeskin, Scrap Shooter, Axebane. Alright, Eroded Canyon, 1 damage. Alright, well, let's see here. Let's play Forest, so we can get a Paw Patch Recruit out on turn 1, and pass the turn. What you doing? Now, I know you did not keep a 1 on hand. There you go. Yep. Blast him. You kind of have to, honestly. Let's go with Thornspine Verge, get the double green, play a Keen-Eyed Curator. I really like the Keen-Eyed Curator. I think this is a cool card. He's hovering my guy. It looks like he might want to bounce it. Oh, no. Decided to just take his turn. What are we doing? Right, plays a tapped land. Peculiar Lighthouse. It's a surprising play. Alright, well, let's go here. We'll pay the 2 life to get it into play. And then I'm going to play the Paw Patch Recruit with Offspring before attacking. Because this could potentially draw out a counterspell, which will make it so they won't have enough mana available to deal with the Keen-Eyed Curator. So now they're kind of forced to choose. Okay, it did resolve, so honestly that's even better. Alright, now we attack. Take that 3. Your turn. I watch them play Pyroclasm. That'd be hilarious. Oh, no, just a Vivi. Again, I will be so happy when that card gets banned. I'm so tired of seeing this guy every second game. Alright, just gonna opt. Gets a +1 counter. Ridiculous. Such a stupid card. Alright. Storm Chaser's talent gets another +1. Alright, let's see here. Let's go here. And let's see here. He's got no mana, so he's not going to be targeting my stuff this turn at all anyways. So, let's play the Axebane Ferox. Swing. You've got choices now. Wow, you didn't even block anything that you should have blocked? I mean, I didn't have any mana available. I couldn't really do any tricks there. Vivi should have at the very least blocked the 1/1. Unless they were just so confident they were going to win the next turn. Which now, honestly, is totally doable, because now they have a ton of +1 counters on the creature. Well, let's see if they got it. That's 6. Oh yeah, that's more than enough. That's 11 already. Yeah, you win. Yeah, I think I'm just kind of like not really doing too hot. I feel like I'm tilting a little bit. Yeah. We'll play one more. So I would hate to end the night on a loss. We'll do one more. But like so far I'm kind of feeling like the deck was already a little bit better before we made these changes. Like being just playing 1 through 3 cost stuff was kind of doing a little bit better. Alright, we go first. Keen-eyed, screaming. Yep. Alright, cool. I don't have a turn 1 play, which kind of sucks, but is what it is. Alright, forest. We'll get that keen-eyed out in turn 2. Alright, play an island and pass. Cool. Let's go forest. Play keen-eyed curator. Don't bounce him. Come on now. Ah, you're such a jerk. Oh, is this mono blue? Okay. Alright, well, mountain. Renzi Bielov. Can't counter that. Back for 3. Bounce. No bounce. Alright. What's that? Flash, whenever you cast a spell during an opponent's turn, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Okay. Interesting. Right, attack for 2. Is this the mono blue, all flash creatures deck? I think it is. Let's see. Well, if you play a Keen-Eyed Curator, we can get around a counter if 2 card. Let's find out. I'm actually going to just attack for 3 and see what they react with. Yeah. All right, they did not flash anything in, so I'm going to play a Keen-Eyed Curator to hopefully get around their counter magic a little bit. Okay, it resolved. Oh gosh, I'm not even thinking correctly. With Fable Bailiff on the battlefield, my spells can't be countered. I'm so silly. Okay. Resolve. Daybloom Trick. Interesting. Okay. Oh, well, it's tapped now, sure. Yeah, +1 counter on the Cutthroat. 2 additional creatures. That's actually pretty decent. Pass. I'm not going to do anything. Yeah, come on in. Alright, well, let's start removing your cards from your graveyard. Do it again. Alright, well, let's go ahead and go here, and, well, Ouroboros. Alright, gang's all here. Let's swing in. Alright, opponent goes to 6. Frenzied Baloth. Making the team unable to be countered is actually pretty solid. Gale Blades, huh? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 damage. Oh. Mono blue flash, huh? Interesting build. I like it. I figured you weren't going to come in. Alright. Well. Let's do this again. Okay, he's going to bounce the other one. And that comes in. No attacks just yet. We're just going to chill. Do they have another Fabloom trick? No. What's funny is I have actually seen this deck before. I came across this deck, I want to say like 3 days ago. It's a very weird build. And thank you for reminding me to hydrate. Very important. Let's see. This is going to come into play tapped, actually. I don't need to play that. Alright, well, let's play the Ouroboros again. Alright. Plus counters. We're going to attack with the Frenzied Baloth now, because it tramples. Alright. Cutthroat comes in. Block. I'm about to block with another. Oh, okay. Alright, opponent goes to 4. End turn. He finally got that 4th land. Look at that. Playing a mono blue flash lately. I don't know about yeah, the Gale Blade is interesting. Maybe they just didn't draw into their bigger threats yet, because this is definitely a deck that wants to play the 5/3 hexproof Sphinx for sure. Get that out of there. Okay, my turn. All right, well, let's get old reliable out there. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, I'm going to assume that they just didn't really draw into their good stuff. But that definitely is a deck that I want to try at some point. I only win with this deck if I draw Enduring Curiosity or the Foundation's Kaido. Interesting. Yeah, the getting all that extra draw is definitely a step in the right direction. Because like without the draw, you're just kind of just sitting there with a bunch of 1/1s, right? Okay. Well, I know I said one more, but we'll do one more. Okay. Win or lose, last game of the night. I do have to get to bed soon. All right, What goes first? Oh, that is an ugly hand. I don't want to keep it though. Just because it's so weird looking. Keep it. Okay, they took a mulligan. That's smart. Opponent's name is Rusty Shackleford. I feel like that's a reference to something. Enjoy Flash and Zoetic Griff playstyles. Mono Blue. Yeah. Yeah, Mono Blue has like a lot of like really good artifact support. I was actually working on a blue-white artifacts build about a week ago that runs the Case of the Filch Falcon. It was actually pretty decent. Oh, this is just terrible. Oh man. Look at all those double green costs. These mountains got to get out of this deck. This is just not good. At least my opponent's not doing anything really strong at the moment. Oh, where were you 2 turns ago? Alright, let's play this. Surex here. Called it. I knew that was coming. That's fine. We'll draw a card. Hey, Ouroboros. Nice. We'll keep it. Alright, take some damage. Alright, let's play this forest. Play this Surrock. I don't want to play the Ouroboros yet because they probably have another sheltered in hand. Called it! Oh my god. It's just so easy to read their hand. It's almost like I played against this deck before. Alright, Thornspine Verge. We're gonna play 2 creatures this turn. See what you got. Watch them play a 3rd lane in Vanguard and a 3rd Shelter by Ghosts. That would just make my day. Banishing Light works too. You know, target my guy. Cool. Draw a card. Would you care to attack? I don't think so. Alright, cool. Let's go here. We're going to go Ouroboros now that we have backup with the Snakeskin Veil. Would you like to double block? I don't think so. Alright. End turn. Got nothing to remove from graveyards because you're just exiling everything. Giving us all the card draw with an emptied hand. Yeah, that's true. Oh, a Hinterland Sanctifier. Drew that a few turns too late. And a Healer Sock. Look at all that life gain. Man, as soon as I get my hands on a Screaming Nemesis, this is over. Sure. Yep. You gonna attack? He is gonna attack. Look at him. Oh, no, you're teasing me. My turn. Alright, well, let's go ahead and play the Restless Ridgeline. And then I'm going to play another Keen-Eyed Curator. And just hang on to the rest of my mana. All right. Next. Attack. Attack. The boys are coming in. You will eventually have to block something. +4. Don't have quite enough. Ugh. I don't like that. Yeah, gain some life. Yep. Resolve all. You got it. Attack with fire, I guess. Yeah. Okay. Now he's starting to come in. Oh, oh, no. No, he's not. Changed his mind. You gotta stop teasing me like that, man. Resolve. Okay. Yeah, take the 1 damage. Alright, my turn. Ooh, Axebane Ferox. Alright, get that in play. Big boys. Real big boys. Let's see. If I choose to attack with everything, you won't necessarily be forced to block with everything. So I'm just going to attack with the 2 biggest boys and keep the rest of them back. Because he can't deal with my Axebane Ferox. He has nothing in his graveyard to deal with it. Yeah, and I don't want to attack all out. There you go. Bam! Bam! Go to 11. Okay. And let's see here. I'm going to play this Forest. I'm going to play this Baloth, which is still going to give me access to green mana so I can use Snakeskin Veil if I need it. But currently, I'm not going to need it. Because he's refusing to do anything with these lay-ins. Resolve. Yep. Gain your life. You want to attack with the Healer's Hawk again? I bet you do. Ah. That's what I thought. Yep, GG. Ouroboros, man. That card is dumb as hell. I need to get me some of those. Okay. Alright, yeah. That's gonna be it for me tonight. That was actually a lot of fun. I'm really liking this deck so far. But let me double check our untapped profile real quick and see where we ended up. Because I know we didn't get to 40 games yet. It's just not possible. Let's see. Let's go ahead and reload. I do apologize that you can't see this. Okay, so with the changes, we're looking at a 53% win rate chance. Now, that's because we did make some changes to the deck. We are at 16 and 14 right now. So we did stumble a few games and got a few extra losses. So we're at 53%, 16 and 14. So that's, what, 30 games? 30 games so far? We have a lot more games we need to get through, though. So, but so far we're doing okay. So we will, we're going to do this again tomorrow. And we're going to get as many more games in as possible because I want to get to that 100 games before I break this down and make a video out of it. So far, we're doing okay. We still have a positive win rate, but after 40 games played, we will be making changes to the deck again. So that is going to be it for me tonight. I thank you very much for spending this time with me, and we'll definitely see what's going on tomorrow and play some more silly Gruul shenanigans. So, thank you very much, and have a wonderful night. We'll see you later.